Hello, every pony. My name is Time Sentry of the Bronie Brothers, and welcome back to Danganronpa. 1, 2, reload. Today we are continuing the class trial of Chihiro Fujisaki. When we learned that a genocide show was actually a Toka Fukawa, and we learned that Chihiro was a boy. Or did I? ARC Trooper 5s. One second, please. I need to check this ARC Trooper 5s, because never heard of him. Alright, let's pick up from here.
Yes, well, I don't know his reason for hiding it, but the fact is, Chihiro was not a girl, but a boy.
Yeah, that's a big surprise. That explains why he avoided the girls.
And because
Most
the
boys do
victim
that.
was male, he would have had no problem gaining access to the boys' locker room.
Assuming his handbook did, in fact, list his gender as male, then yes, that would be true.
Of course his handbook said he was a boy. He dressed like a girl, but he was a boy through and through.
Wonder why.
So then, there should be no issue with Makoto's initial assertion. The victim was killed in the boys' locker room, and was then later moved to the girls' locker room. And
Including
the
the scene
killer
of
could
this
have
crime.
easily used Sayaka or Junko's handbook to get into the girls' locker room.
That's also true.
So Chihiro really was killed in the boys' locker room?
I still don't understand the motive for moving the body, but yes, that does seem plausible.
Well, I must admit, I did find it rather odd. I knew he felt a little off. There was a certain incongruity to his female body.
This is the most titillating situation!
Ugh. If that was a girl pun, I think I'll be sick. Ugh. Seriously, you need help! And stop making fun of girls' body parts, please.
So now everything has been connected. All the mysteries have finally become clear.
Okay, well, connected or clear or whatever. We still think you're the killer, remember?
Very interesting. This has become very interesting indeed.
He's off in his own little world.
What about you, Makoto? After everything we've learned, do you still think Byakuya's the killer?
Well, without a doubt, Byakuya is the one that made Chihiro's death look like Genocide Jack did it. But I think he might not actually be the killer after all.
I think he was.
But aren't you the one who accused him in the first place?
He
Yeah.
just seems to be too easygoing about all this. Like he's enjoying us solving the mystery. The way he's
Seriously?
acting, it makes it seem like it doesn't have anything to do with him.
Ugh, that's the way he
And you
is.
think that might be
Such a
because
jerk.
it doesn't have anything to do with him?
Plus, the evidence he left behind was a little too... how can I put it? Overt.
Overt? What does overt mean?
He consciously chose to use the extension cord, knowing it could connect him to the murder.
So he tried to
At
frame
least-
himself?
That's how I see it.
I'm confused.
And Byakuya, when you found out the murder took place in the boys' locker room, it seemed to rattle you.
No clue? No clue to what?
And then again when you found out Chihiro was actually a guy. If you really were the killer, that stuff wouldn't have had any effect on you.
Seriously?
So that's your thinking, huh? Well, it bothers me that you don't have more concrete reasons, but... It's fine. I guess I'll mark it as correct, for the time being.
Mark it as correct?
He's right. I am not the culprit. I just happened to come across the corpse in the girls' locker room and decided to alter it.
Alter?
Are you fucking with us right now?
Seriously, you tried to frame him genocide show, or Toko, and that could've gotten us all killed.
No, I am not effing with you right now. I'm telling you the truth.
Wow, he's just like me. Not a fan of swearing. I'm good with that. But I still don't like him.
Well, I find it very hard to believe.
Go ahead. Find it very hard to believe. You're free to be executed along with the rest of us.
Please no.
If you're really telling the truth, then why? Why do you do that to his body?
My reasons hardly matter right now. Uncovering the culprit is much more important, wouldn't you say? Now then, if it wasn't me, who was it?
Well,
okay.
I don't think I can say for sure without talking about it a little.
I could do this.
We're seriously gonna keep going? We're all good, aren't we? I thought it was clear Byakuya did it.
No, I'm with Makoto. If there's any doubt whatsoever, we need to explore every possibility. Because if we're wrong, we all die here.
Okay.
That's true. Very well then. I'm with you too.
Sure you
Damn
are.
straight. Count me in.
Do you not have a mind of your own?
Seriously?
Of course I do. What am I, an ant or something?
Anyway, let's discuss this all as a group one more time. We still have time to make our decision.
That's very true.
Our lives are all on the line.
Excellent. Then shall we resume our game of hide and seek?
If Byaku didn't do it, then who's the real killer? Who murdered Chihiro? There's one thing we can be sure that we know about the killer. The killer was able to gain access to the real murder scene, which means the killer is a guy! Since the crime scene was the boys' locker room, you would need a boys' handbook to get in. Since Leon's handbook is apparently broken, the killer would have had to use their own. In other words, it has to be a guy. But still not enough. I need to find some more clues. Yeah, listen to jive music. So that's decent count, huh?
Isn't there a single clue that might lead us to who did it?
Well, clues are one thing, but did nobody get a look at the killer?
I'm sure if someone saw the killer, they would have said something by now.
Perhaps someone saw the victim at some point. Even that might be enough for now.
Yeah. All we need right now is any kind of new info.
It's over. It's all over.
Whoa, chill out, dude.
You want to know who saw the victim? The killer. And only the killer. And it's not like they're just gonna turn themselves in.
Press the wrong
Game
button.
over, man. Game over.
Yeah! No! Not game over!
I really need to work on my buttons.
Isn't there a single clue that might
One,
lead us to who
two.
did it?
Well, clues are one thing, but did nobody get a look at the killer?
I'm sure if someone saw the killer, they would have said something by now.
Perhaps someone saw the victim at some point. Even that might be enough for now.
Yeah. All we need right now is any kind of new info.
It's over. It's all over. You want to know who saw the victim? the killer, and only the...
No, that's wrong. There we go. We need hope on our side.
I believe someone else did see the victim before he was murdered. What do you think, Celeste?
What? Why her?
Now
that's
that you
right,
mention
her
it, yes,
account.
I did see him.
Really?
Oh,
You did?
but I suppose only Makoto knows about this. The rest of you had no idea, did you? That is why you're all making such ugly noises.
Whatever! Just hurry up and tell us!
It was last night, right before nighttime. I saw Chihiro in the dormitory warehouse. I saw him stuffing a track jacket into a duffel bag. And then,
Track jacket?
I assume, he headed off to exercise.
Oh yeah.
Track jacket and a duffel bag. But we didn't find anything like that at the murder scene.
It seems likely that the culprit destroyed them to get rid of any evidence.
And that is when he said something that struck me as rather odd.
What? Well, I better get going. I'm kinda in a hurry.
Chihiro told me he was in a hurry. But why would he be in a hurry? Only if someone were waiting for him, I should think.
So, Mr. Fujisaki was on his way to meet with someone, and then they were going to work out together?
But Hina and I had invited him to exercise with us plenty of times, and he always declined.
Probably because he was afraid you'd find out the secret he was hiding, right?
That's a good
Which
point.
means that conversely, he must have trusted whoever he was meeting with very much. Enough so that he was willing to risk his secret being revealed.
Oh, the marvelous friendship!
The point is, whoever he met up with is the culprit, right? So we just gotta figure out who it was.
But knowing what we know, I can't even guess.
No. You already have what you need to make the connection.
Huh?
You know who the killer is.
Seriously?
Seriously?
Wait.
Who is it? Who's the killer?
Think back to the track jacket and duffel bag the killer disposed of.
Track jacket and duffel bag.
Focus
got
on
no
the
clue.
details of these items, and it should become obvious who was waiting for him.
Are you sure about that? You really think we can figure out who did it based on two pieces of evidence that we don't have?
Oh boy.
What? You want to track down some fingerprints or something?
Even if we had the equipment for that, we wouldn't know how to use it.
Yeah, that might be a problem.
As was noted, the evidence is already gone. There's nothing to get fingerprints from.
Maybe, but we can make certain inferences if we just take the time to talk it out.
Easy for you to say. But fine. Celeste, did you notice anything special about the bag or jacket? The bag was just a normal duffel bag from the warehouse. All the bags in there are the same, so I can't imagine what would make that one special.
Well, if I remember right, there was a decent variety of tracksuits to choose from. Do you think there might be some connection between the culprit and Chihiro's jacket?
Perhaps. Let's explore that and talk a bit more about the jacket he took.
Alright. Another clue. But what does this have to do with Chihiro? This might be hard. Okay, I can do this.
First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed. He was on his way to go exercise. So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him?
Hey,
No,
that's
wrong!
You never mentioned the color.
Hold on a second, Mondo. What did you just say?
Huh? What'd I say?
When Celeste testified a few minutes ago, she said...
I saw him stuff a tracksuit in a duffel bag. I'm not gonna read that part.
She never said anything about the jacket's color.
Yeah, that's right.
So why did you say Chihiro's blue tracksuit?
What are you... You just...
Hey, Celeste, what color was Chihiro's tracksuit?
As a matter of fact, it was blue?
And before we began the trial, did you tell anyone that?
The only one I told about any of this was you.
Then, Mondo, how did you know what color Chihiro's tracksuit was?
Because I just... I'm sure he saw the clothes at some point in the investigation.
You're not helping, dude.
No, that can't be it. The bag and clothes were surely disposed of by the time we began our investigation.
Then the only reason he could have known what color the tracksuit was is if he saw Cherry with it before he died! That's the only possibility!
Cherry? Are you talking about Chihiro?
So, how about it? Did you see the tracksuit or didn't you?
Just by chance. I just happened to see it last night. He walked past me, and he was carrying the tracksuit in his hands.
Seriously?
No,
I don't think so.
that can't be it either. According to Celeste's testimony, when Celeste noticed it, Chihiro made a point of making sure the jacket was completely in the bag. If you just ran into him briefly, you couldn't possibly have seen what color the tracksuit was.
It would appear you dug your own grave.
Perhaps. But you handed him the shovel, didn't you? That's why you said what you did. Focus on the tracksuit and it'll be obvious who he met with? What a bunch of nonsense.
At least it worked.
Ah, now I understand. It was all one big plan, wasn't it? Your true intention was to draw a slip of the tongue from the culprit.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's why you said you knew who did it, to put them on edge.
That's right. However, Mondo was my target all along. I had my suspicions about him from the very beginning.
How so?
But why? What made you so suspicious?
That's a good question. There was a certain turning point that tipped me off. Maybe you didn't notice it, Mondo, but you tend to refer to men and women differently.
Seriously?
You only call guys dude. For girls, it's chick. And after he was killed, you happen to refer to him as dude. Once I picked up on that, it occurred to me that Mondo knew something we didn't.
What was that?
You noticed such a tiny detail?
Are you a witch? She's a witch! You're positively frightful!
No, I'm not the frightful one. Not nearly as frightful as someone capable of murdering a friend.
Mondo, was it really you? Did you really kill Chihiro?
I didn't kill anyone! You've been all over me, judging everything I say, putting words in my mouth. What gives you the right to treat me like a goddamn criminal?
You did go to juvenile hall.
Yeah! He would never do something like that! This is a false accusation!
Seriously?
It's true. My reasoning on that is pretty shaky.
That was fast.
Well, This does present us with a problem. It seems we are all out of leads.
My time has nearly come. That's what my little ghost friend is telling me.
Ghost friend?
Oh yeah, that reminds me. Hifumi, weren't you telling me you'd found some evidence?
Really? What kind of evidence?
Actually, no. Now that I'm thinking about it here calmly, it might not be all that relevant.
Jeez, does your confidence just get up and walk away? It's fine, man. Just tell us.
If you really insist, then, here it is.
What do you have there?
It happens to be an e-handbook. I found it laying on the ground, so I scooped it up.
I think it's...
My God! We know Chihiro's handbook was missing from the scene of the crime, right?
For a fact.
For a fact indeed. I was totally sure I'd found it.
Then it must hold some clue about the culprit, right?
So who did it?
Well, that's what I was hoping. But it's busted. Turn on.
I imagine the culprit broke it to get rid of any evidence after the murder.
That's odd. I didn't think the handbooks were quite so fragile.
You're right. They're not. They're totally waterproof and shock resistant. It would take an awful lot to break one.
And yet, this one does appear to be broken, as is Leon's, sitting useless in the main hall. For all your confidence, that is a remarkably high failure rate.
Do you think there might be some kind of mystery in there somewhere? How precisely did the handbooks get broken?
It's weak point.
You already told us before that the handbook has one weak point, didn't you?
What is it? Spill the beans.
You remember that?
Duh.
Sure, maybe I let that slip, but I never told anyone what the weak point actually was.
Start talking,
But if
dude.
the handbook is supposed to never break, and two of them broke in quick succession, then
Then we can only assume that someone's figured out its weakness. You know what the weakness is, right, Monokuma? So, what is it?
You're asking me?
I think it's a necessary piece of information if you want this to be a fair trial.
Come on, start talking.
But if I tell you, and someone else decides to copy it, that would be very not good.
Just tell us already! Why would we want to break our own handbooks?
Yeah, that's just stupid.
Oh well, I have a weakness for pushy demands. But you're sure you won't follow their example? Then allow me to make a special announcement. The weak point of my cutting-edge e-handbook is... when it's exposed to high temperatures for too long, it will suffer a meltdown and totally break!
Seriously? You know, you should have just put a rule. Well, this breaking of handbook is strictly prohibited.
I flippin' knew it!
You knew it?
Yeah, because I found the handbook laying on the floor of the sauna.
The sauna?
The temperature in the sauna can reach over 200 degrees. Strange how you don't get burnt, huh? It's because as your sweat evaporates, it creates a cooling layer of air around your skin. If the hot air of the sauna were somehow pushed directly onto your skin, you'd definitely get fried. That layer of air would get blown away. That's why you may feel a burning when you move around. So when you're in a sauna, make sure to keep nice and still.
Interesting. I learned one new fact today.
That is a mere trifling speck of knowledge.
Anyway, if you found the victim's handbook in the sauna, then the killer must have been purposely trying to raise its temperature in order to break it.
meaning the culprit somehow knew its weakness.
Or probably
How'd they
found
find
it.
out? Monokuma said he didn't tell anyone, right?
Maybe he found out by accident.
Indeed. Quite the mystery.
What if they found out by accident?
What
Wow,
do you
she's
mean
good.
by accident?
What if the killer took their own handbook into the sauna, not knowing its weakness, and it broke? They'd realize it was broken, of course, and it wouldn't be hard to figure out why. And once they had Chihiro's handbook, they knew they had an easy way to dispose of it.
I won't say it's not possible, but who would have done something like that? I don't know of anyone who took their handbook into the sauna.
I might know someone who did.
Yeah. I just realized
Seriously?
something.
I think the one who may have taken their handbook into the sauna was...
Who might have brought their handbook to the sauna? It had to be someone who wore all their clothes. It is leading to him.
Here's my answer! Mondo, your handbook got broken in the sauna, didn't it?
What? Why? Why do you keep accusing him?
Mondo and Taka had an endurance contest in the sauna not too long ago, remember?
Yeah. We had to be a witness.
And for the contest, Mondo just so happened to keep his school uniform on. But little did he realize, he'd also left his handbook in one of his uniform pockets.
Yeah, not so smart.
And when it was all over, Mondo discovered that taking your handbook into the sauna could easily destroy it.
No, wait, hold on. You've got it all wrong. He would never kill. I don't accept this. Show me the proof. The actual solid proof.
Oh boy. I don't want to believe it either, but I found something that proves it beyond a shadow of doubt. Broken E handbook.
Let's test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually broken, then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine.
See? Look!
Oh, man, I
Makoto was
missed it.
wrong after
I was
all!
shaking.
Mondo wouldn't hurt a fly!
Okay. Let's try that again.
Let's test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually broken, then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine.
Oh man, it missed.
See? Look! Makoto was wrong after all! Mondo wouldn't hurt a fly!
Ah! You gotta be kidding me.
Let's test Makoto's assertion.
Okay,
If what
last
he
try.
says is
Freeze the charm.
correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually broken, then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine.
Nope.
No, that's
You're
wrong.
wrong. Got you.
Mondo, the handbook you have right now, is it
Is
really,
it really
yours?
yours?
The fuck is that supposed to mean?
I think you know.
The broken handbook that was in the main hall. Isn't that one actually yours?
What the heck are you talking about?
Busted.
What I mean is, I think Mondo swapped his handbook out for one that actually works.
Yeah, kind of like the Pink Panther, or two, who The detective switched the fake Pink Panther for the real Pink Panther. It was very clever.
I think he took Leon's handbook and replaced it with his own. After all, Monokuma said himself that Leon's handbook never should have broken.
That's right! The punishment it suffered wasn't nearly enough to destroy it.
So then, the broken handbook in the main hall is actually Mondo's, which would mean that the handbook Mondo has right now is actually Leon's, yes?
But doesn't that violate the school regulation that says loaning out your handbook is prohibited?
Here we go again.
Well, here's how I look at it. There is a rule about loaning your handbook to another student, but if they're dead, they're not a student. It's kind of a gray area, I admit. But no worries. If anything, it just makes things more interesting. As such, I decree that exchanging handbooks with a corpse is not a violation of the rules.
Well, Mondo, if I'm wrong about this, you're welcome to say so. I'm happy to admit I made a mistake, but...
Son of a bitch! What's wrong, bro? Come on! Tell him he's wrong! You are wrong! You have to be wrong! Everything you just said is wrong! You made it all up!
Okay, then why don't we look back on this case one more time, from the beginning?
Ooh, are we doing comic?
That way, everything will become clear, and we'll all see if I was right or wrong.
Comic book time, I think. Yes! Okay, let's see. Okay, this might go here. Okay. That doesn't seem right. Well, kind of feel sorry. Okay, let's see if I can... This looks right. Oh man, I hope I got this right.
The killer is... you! First, let's take a look back to before the incident. Last night, Celeste saw Chihiro in the warehouse, correct? At the time, she was apparently stuffing something into a duffel bag. That something was a blue tracksuit. You can confirm this, right, Celeste? With bag in hand, Chihiro headed out, even though it was officially nighttime. She made her way to the locker room, specifically the boys' locker room. But how could the victim, who was apparently a girl, access the boys' locker room? Simple, because she was really a he, which is why he was able to use his own handbook to gain entrance to the boys' locker room. Once inside, he met with someone there. And the person he met was the one who killed him.
Dun, dun, dun.
It seems likely that the killer grabbed the nearby dumbbell, approached the unsuspecting Chihiro,
and kablam!
And attacked him. And that's where the bloodstains on the poster and carpeting in the boys' locker room came from.
Yep, kinda felt guilty.
It was likely in the heat of the moment. The body was arranged, but the murder itself felt unplanned. Which is why the killer hurried to try and hide the act. First, pulling up the bloodstained carpet. Then, removing the bloody poster. And finally carrying the corpse into the girls' locker room. A girl's handbook was necessary to get into the locker room, of course. But this alone doesn't prove that the killer was necessarily a girl. After all, Sayaka and Junko's handbooks had been placed in the main hall. Using one of those, a boy could get into the girls' locker room without much problem. And that's exactly how the killer did it. With the carpet and the poster they brought with them, they got to work. They changed the layout of the boys' and girls' locker room in what you might call a crime scene switch.
I like that kind of title. Wait, how'd he
Could
get
have
it?
been the end of things, but no. Byakuya discovered the body and decided to intervene in the situation, making things even more complicated. So, after stumbling on the crime scene, he went and grabbed the extension cord from the library, and then he got to work. He used the cord to string up Chihiro's lifeless body. Then, using the victim's own blood, he left a grisly message there at the scene of the crime. He wanted to create the illusion that Genocide Jack was responsible for the slaughter.
Not cool, dude. Not cool.
And around the same time that Byakuya was putting together this facade, the killer, having already disposed of Chihiro's bag and other belongings, arrived at the sauna. There, they planned to destroy the last piece of evidence, Chihiro's handbook. And just as the killer expected, the steamy sauna was enough to ruin the electronic gadget. Somehow, the killer knew that the handbook couldn't stand up to the heat of the sauna. And the reason they knew that is because the sauna had already wrecked their own handbook. And that's how it all played out. Isn't that right, Mondo Arata?
Busted. Well, I'm gonna use this time. And the. Okay, moving on.
Wait! No, this can't be right. Where's your evidence? Yeah, where's your evidence? You need evidence! You need proof! Without any proof, you can't pin any of this on him!
So in denial. Okay, we need one more piece of evidence. Okay, here comes... Oh boy. Fine, let's take a look. Fever time and nega time. During the bullet time battle, if you press fever time will force to its max. Ooh, don't want to press that. You won't miss. Exactly. Rumble assault. Ooh, melee, but it only lasts until you're runs out. So make the best possible use of your time. Okay. Okay, I gotta... Next. Use. If an opponent activates nega time during the bullet time battle, your tempo mark will disappear, making it quite a bit tougher to hit the buttons in rhythm. If you to activate fever time at this point, no, never mind. I'm sure nothing would happen. I don't... Huh, sweet!
Show me some evidence! You're wrong! I won't listen! I refute you! False! Show me some evidence! I won't listen! False! I refuse to vote! Show me some evidence! You're wrong! I won't listen! I refute you! False! Show me some evidence! I won't listen! False! You're corrupt! I refuse to vote! I refute you! False! You're corrupt! Show me some evidence! I won't listen! I refuse to vote!
Final strike!
Show me some evidence!
This should prove it.
Wow, I did it! Actually, you survived
so
this
far
part.
is right. Mondo must have replaced his broken handbook with Leon's. In which case, we can just check each of our handbooks right now.
Go ahead, do it.
Once we do that, we'll...
We don't gotta do that.
Huh?
Huh?
Yeah, I did it. I killed him.
What? He confesses? Okay, A, B, A, B. Ooh, I almost got that perfect. I got close. Big improvement. 80. Nice.
Bro! What are you saying?
I got no choice, man. After hearing all that, I gotta just... give up. Go ahead, Monokuma. Get it over with.
Wait.
Ask for the goddamn verdict.
Roger that.
Wait! Hold on!
No waiting, no holding on. Time for the moment we've all been waiting for. Grab your lever and give it a yank! Who will you elect as the Blackened this time around? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
I'm not gonna like it. And the guilty one is Mondo.
What?
Uh-oh. This time, it looks like you got it right again. How's that bad? Yes, it is the black end that killed Chihiro Fujisaki was... Mondo Owada!
Unbelievable.
In case you're wondering, the vote was not unanimous. Kyoto chose the wrong answer. Dude! You're treading very close to the danger zone, Mr. Mishumaru. You need to be more careful.
What?
I refuse to believe it. There's no way he would kill anyone.
Sorry.
What is this?
Why are you apologizing? Why? Why did you do it?
Now then.
Well, it looks like Mondo's taken a vow of silence, so allow me to explain on his behalf.
Actually...
The story of the murder this time is the sad story of two men. What? Oh! For anyone who doesn't really want to hear it, you can hit the O button to fast forward to the text. Now I want to hear it. Anyway, there was once a young boy, and his name was Chihiro Fujisaki. He had an extremely inferiority complex regarding his own lack of strength. You're weak, even though you're a boy. He'd hear things like that as long as he could, remember? As he couldn't overcome his weakness. On the contrary, he tried to hide and buried himself further and further into that weakness. To take on the fragile form of a petite young girl, he had chosen that as his way out. Nobody will be able to say anything about even though you're a boy. But no matter how tightly he wrapped himself in that shell, the inferiority complex has already taken a root deep inside of him and was not so easily weeded out. As it turned out, the shell was completely empty. The complex didn't disappear. Instead, it only grew stronger and stronger. I'm weak.
Weak.
Once the killing game had begun here at the school, he had no choice but to accept that fact. After all, this world is survival of the fittest. If you're not strong, you don't survive. Seriously? Who are you, General Esdeath? And then the lovely and hateful Monokuma announced the revealing of the embarrassing secrets, which of course included Chihiro's embarrassing secret, which I was more than willing to divulge. Even though he dresses like a girl, Chihiro is actually a boy.
Hey,
And that was something Chihiro couldn't let anyone find out, no matter the cost. If that was revealed, it would be the end. The hardened shell would crack and the armor would fade away. Without a doubt, those around him would torture him more than ever before. Everyone figured being entrusted to such a dilemma must have sent him spiraling into despair.
what?
I'm sorry.
I don't really want to talk about it right now.
But...
I also don't want to leave things the way they are, so maybe I can talk about it later. After all, I'll try my best to become stronger. Then I can tell everyone. Annoyingly, he used the threat of discovery to motivate himself into becoming stronger.
That's right.
Now's my chance.
I want to change.
I'm going to get stronger and accept who I am. Strong enough so that when somebody says, even though you're a boy, I'll be okay. I'll get better. With that thought at the front of his mind, he resolved to make immediate action. And so, that day he made a commitment to begin exercising. He was prepared to retain his mind and body. But sadly, that would be the first and only chance he would get at all.
Hey,
When he decided to start exercising, he thought it would be good to ask someone for help. But he wanted to tell that person his secret first, and then ask him to help him from there. And that person he went to...
Yeah, that's right.
It was me. Yep, it sure was. The biker gang fella had been painfully clear about how important his manly promises were. So Chihiro probably figured that even if he found in Mondo, his honor would make him keep his secret. Plus, Mr. Macho Mondo was the very symbol of a strong man that Chihiro had always aspired to. Maybe talking to Mondo about it will help me, give me some courage. So he went and asked Mondo to help him become stronger. That was his aspiration, and he thought that only with Mondo's support would he ever be able to come close to that.
Correct.
So then, at must we why Mondo did what he did, to keep the promise he made for Chihiro. Huh? Did what he did? You mean, that's why Mondo carried Chihiro from the boys' locker room into the girls' locker room?
Indeed.
Wasn't that to cover up what he'd done?
Certainly.
I don't think it was the main reason. The real purpose was to keep the promises between men he made to Chihiro. But how does moving the body keep it his secret?
Because
if everyone knew that he'd been killed in the boys' locker room, then everyone would have been arguing about how she got into the boys' locker room, right? Once that started up, at least a few of us would have immediately begun to suspect his identity. So, he tried to protect Chihiro's secret by putting him in the girls' locker room and stealing his handbook. Then Mondo did all that he did all that to keep the promise he'd made to Chihiro, who he also killed. Why would he do that? The more I hear you talk, the more I don't understand. I mean, you guys trusted each other, right? So why? Why did you? Because no matter what, I didn't want anyone to know.
I knew it.
So that's what triggered it all. So that's what triggered it, after all. The possibility of having your embarrassing memories and secrets exposed.
What is this?
That's not possible. Nothing could have been that bad. Something he didn't want anyone to know, even if it meant killing someone?
You're wrong!
It's impossible!
Don't make me repeat myself.
How many times must I repeat myself? To judge others by their own standard is the height of folly. Even if you can't comprehend, he obviously can. That's all there is to it. Well, while we're on the subject, why don't I tell you? The embarrassing memory, that secret he didn't want anyone to know?
Hey,
You know what Mondo did. He killed his own brother. What? What? Mondo, the super high school level biker, makes all the hoodlums and riffraff across the country tremble. But the only reason he had the chance to join the gang in the first place was because of a certain someone. Mondo's older brother's name was Daya Owada. Mondo had nothing but respect him. It was because of Daya that Mondo ever got a motorcycle. Mondo's brother was his only family growing up. He was the only one who Mondo could trust or respect. He wanted to measure up to his big brother, so he immediately imitated him in everything he did. Mondo was the epitome of the starry-eyed kid brother. Meanwhile, the charismatic older brother had put together a local motorcycle gang, and before anyone knew it, it had grown into the biggest biker gang in the country. Daya, his older brother, number one in the gang, and his number two, his younger brother Mondo. In the beginning, everything was peaches and gravy, but when Mondo started to think about how he would have to take over the gang for his brother one day, his brother's greatness, his reputation began to gnaw on Mondo's very soul. The kid's gonna take over for Daya, huh? Daya created this gang, which with his bare hands. Mondo's just along for the ride. Can someone like that really be our leader? All that they'll do is make the gang look bad. Almost every day, Mondo heard the gossip and whispers of the other members, which is why
I
gotta get stronger than Daya. Just one time. No matter what, I gotta win.
Don't fuck with me.
I don't care what it takes. I gotta come out on top. And the night of his amazing brother's retreatment ceremony, Mondo challenged him to a street race. But during the race, tragedy struck. The kid brother, pushed ahead with reckless abandon, eager for victory, dashed into oncoming traffic. But suddenly, how was that killing him? Laying in his kid brother's arms, the older brother delivered his final words. My bad, kid. I really screwed up. Of course, he knew it was his brother's fault, but Daya never blamed him for what happened. Hey, kid, the rest is up to you. No matter what, you gotta keep the gang together. Because it's a team. You and me put it together. It's a promise between men. Wow. He decided to hide the truth of what happened from anyone else in the gang, in order to keep the gang together and keep the promise to his brother. He could never admit to anyone what it was his own weakness that had caused the accident. As a result, the team was made of even stronger under the banner of the kid who bested his big brother. Daya was going to lose his kid brother, so he got stupid and got himself killed. That became an explanation for what happened. Mondo's lie became the truth. He wanted to lead the team so bad he was willing to tell all kinds of lies to his brother.
I just...
I'm strong.
Yeah.
Strong. And yet, as soon as our killing game began, he realized, no matter how tough he pretended to be, he was just another weakling that could die in an instant. And then the lovely and hateful Monokuma announced the revealing of the embarrassing secrets. At that point, it was clear I would have no problem shedding light on his secret. Mono killed his own older brother.
Yeah.
No matter what, I couldn't let the other gang members find out. If that happened, everything would have been ruined. Everything me and my brother had worked to create would have been destroyed. His death, all the guilt I'd been carrying around, it would have been for nothing. So that's why... Mondo.
Yeah.
After I saw what Monokuma had on me, my head filled up with kind of fuzzy uneasiness as it just started swirling around. I never felt anything like it before.
I just...
I didn't know what to think about, do about it. I wasn't sure what to think or say, but after a while, that fuzzy uneasiness turned itself into a rock-hard lump of anxiety way down in my stomach. And it was right around then that Chihiro asked me to start working out with him. And right there, he told me his secret. Seriously? Jesus Christ.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry I lied to you. But why? Why now? Why are you telling me this all of a sudden?
Huh?
Because, I mean, you kept that secret all this time, right? If anyone found out that you would...
But...
You're right, but...
I want to change.
I wrapped myself in lies. I'm weak. I want to destroy that version of me forever. His words were like a knife in my gut. I felt like he was exposing the lie I've been living myself. I have to change. I don't want to be weak anymore. You're strong. It can't hurt you. Right? Whatever secret Monokuma might tell us.
You piece of...
So what? You're saying I should just say it?
What? What?
You're saying if I really am, I should just be able to tell everyone my secret?
Huh?
I was jealous. I was jealous of Chihiro's strength. He had the strength to face his own weakness, to try and overcome it. It was that kind of strength I never had, so I was jealous of him. And that jealous me, he broke me.
What? What?
Are you making fun of me? I'm strong. Are you messing with me right now?
No!
I'm not making fun of you. You really are strong, Mondo. I felt like I could hear something starting to creak. Something inside my head. What did he want me to do? What What was I supposed to do? Was I supposed to just sit back and let my secret get revealed and ruin everything?
What's wrong?
Damn you!
Why did you have to tell me all that? Are you trying to rub my failure in my face?
I just wanted to...
I just really admire you. I admire your strength.
Yeah, that's right.
I am strong. Strong. I'm strong. Stronger than you.
You son of a bitch!
And stronger than Daya! I don't remember anything after that. When I woke up, he was laying at my feet, covered in blood. I had the dumbbell in my hand, and I was just straining it.
I killed Chihiro. Even after all this time, I'm still just as weak as I've always been. And thanks to that, I did something I can never take back.
Mondo. He was normally so aggressive and so angry. He hid that weak side of way that was his secret. A weakness like that lived in his heart. Damn it. Look at him, you see? You're just like him. For a secret from the past, for a memory. For that, he killed another living human in cold blood. He couldn't cut free of his regrets from the outside world. He doesn't know what true strength is. You see hope anywhere in here? Because I sure don't. Just shut up, you bastard. Or go ahead and say it again, I dare you.
Yep.
I'll say it as many times. Is that what you want me to do? But unfortunately, I can't do that because the time of punching is fast approaching.
It can't be.
Well now.
That's what I promised you, right? The black end that disturbed the peace will be punished.
Ridiculous!
Hold on.
Now then, I prepared a very special punishment.
And for Mondo Owada, the super high school level biker. No, wait!
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time!
Sorry, man. I couldn't keep the promise we made. From one man to another.
Whoa, is he actually accepting his fate? Wait. What? The circus? Oh, it's one of those things. The cage of death. Obviously, that's the plan. Huh? Where'd he go? Ooh, let's do the dance. Whoa, it's getting electrifying and swirly-eyed. Are we done? So, what happened to him? Where'd he go? What the... Mondo Butter? What? Did he just become a butter hurry commercial? Laugh in death, so forever at peace. Oh boy. Death just nasty? Tell me about it. And where were you? The entire episode. I'm gonna wrap up in about a few minutes.
What is this?
Okay, let's... One of our friends... Do you realize that?
Naturally.
Of course, because this game is life or death.
Hey,
I don't have anything to say to you. I don't have a response except that.
however,
I just don't understand why. Why did you go out of your way to disguise Mono's crime?
What?
Because more interesting? Yeah, right. His voice was... you know, you would have died anyway. No, isn't it?
Honestly.
You know, I'm just gonna save it. Save it here. I was watching and enjoying the show. Well, I'll save this here. Right now, I need to rest my head. It'll take a half an hour. I'll be back. So, I'll see you all later in the next video. Like, subscribe, tap the bell, you know the drill. See you all in the next video. Bye-bye!